Let me know if this sounds familiar. You decide you want to start a hobby. Let's say you want to make YouTube videos. So you do some research and you buy yourself a camera. After all, you have to be able to record yourself somehow. But then you need a lens. But what kind of lens? Well, you might need a few different lenses depending on the kind of videos you really want to make. And then you got to make sure you add a microphone, and you got to add a light, and then you got to add a second light because for some reason, one light doesn't seem to be enough for making YouTube videos. Then you need a backpack. Then you need a tripod. Then pretty soon, you own a small production company. Did you know that there's actually a name for this? It's called Gear Acquisition Syndrome, or GAS for short, GAS. And it can wreck both your hobbies and your wallet and your budget. So today, I thought we should talk about why hobbies make us spend money that we don't necessarily want or need to even spend. And I want to talk about how embracing frugal living, which is the goal of this channel after all, can actually help you be better at your hobbies with less stuff. We're going to break that down today. Most hobbies start really innocent and simple. You want to take some photos. You want to make some videos. You want to do something to make yourself feel creative and growing. But this always happens. We start watching YouTube videos about the hobby we want to get into. And inevitably, we start seeing all the gear that people use in the hobbies. And we start going down the rabbit hole of gear reviews and accessory hauls. And look what's in my backpack. Look what's in my camper van. Whatever the hobby is, there's people who have spent way too much money to do it. Don't you agree? I mean, after all, isn't the point of a hobby to be something that you actually do versus something that you shop for? I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do the hobby, not shop for the hobby. Maybe I'm wrong. It always starts pretty innocent. $40 for this thing, that seems pretty reasonable. $100 for this thing? I probably really need it, don't I? Oh, crap, this thing's $800. Do I really need this to do what I want to do? Oh, it'll make it that much easier and that much better? Oh, man. I could put it on a credit card and pay it off by the end of the month, right? No, don't do that, people. That is the wrong way to do it, my friends. Save the money. Once you save the money, if you still want the thing, if you're still even doing the hobby, my friends, then you can go buy the thing. Okay? Cool? Sounds good, right? Sounds fair, right? I think so. Because here's one thing that always happens, and boy, oh boy, does it piss me off when it happens to me. I finally save up enough to buy the thing I've been thinking I want or need in my life for whatever hobby. My stuff usually comes down to YouTube gear because I love what I do. And nothing makes me more angry than when I buy a piece of gear and within a month on Amazon, I see the next version of said thing. And it is so much better. I just instantly regret buying the one I did. That is the worst feeling on the planet, is it not? It's happened to me with phones a few times, cameras a few times. A microphone? Actually, this microphone. This is my favorite microphone in the world. I should do a review on this microphone someday. Maybe I will. It's a good idea. It's a really cool microphone by Boya. Boya! I lost my spot, y'all. It's funny how spending money on our hobby makes us feel like we're progressing in our hobby. I know guys who got into bushcrafting back during like the pandemic because they could go out into the woods and be by themselves and make fires and carve sticks with their knives and axes and stuff. And I know people who bought all this gear to go do bushcrafting, and then as soon as the whole world opened back up, they didn't want to do that anymore. They had no desire to go back out there and do it anymore at all. It was crazy. But it happens like that sometimes, guys, and you just have to be willing to roll with it, I guess, and deal with the consequences if that happens to you. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully whatever hobby you get into, you love it and you want to do it forever. Like I have friends that are into golf and they spend a ridiculous amount of money on golf, but they legit love golfing. So I don't know. That's their thing. I don't see the passion in it really. I don't mind golf. It's not something I'm going to spend a ton of money on. So you spend your money, you get the thing, the package arrives, you're super happy for that first time you go use it. Then you have to maintain it. Then it gets to be a little old. Then it doesn't really do the thing that it promised it was going to do. And that kind of really pisses you off because, well, you told me you were going to make my life better. And then you didn't. And that sucks, right? I hate it when that happens. So, for example, a new camera is not going to automatically make your videos better. Because if you're not good on camera or you don't know how to properly sequence a video, then it's not going to be good no matter what camera you use. You could use an IMAX camera and still make a crappy video. It might look good, but that's about it. Buying a new journal. Buying a new journal does not guarantee you're going to write in it. I have a few journals in this house that have never been written in. I told myself I was going to use them and write in them every day or every night or every morning or whatever, and I just never did. So, yeah, journals is another one of those things. You know what else I've bought a ton of since I'm confessing my sins right now to all of you? Backpacks. I own so many backpacks. I probably own over 20 backpacks. And I don't know why. I don't need 20 backpacks at all. I have no need for 20 backpacks. I only need one. But for some reason, I own 20. So that is one thing I'm going to start dwindling down significantly. I don't even know how I got to 20 backpacks. It just happened. Crazy, isn't it? It's one of those things when you're like out and about and you see it on the rack and you're like, ooh, a new backpack. That could carry all my problems and make my world so much better. It doesn't. Now they all sit in my closet and taunt me for the money that I spent on them, and that's no fun. You know, something else that I realized is that when we buy gear to do things, we're trying to create a version of ourselves that may not ever really exist. We're trying to create a version of ourselves that we may never become. You buy a bunch of tools because you watch woodworking videos and you suddenly decide you're going to be like those guys, but you've never built anything in your entire life. Now you have a collection of really expensive tools that you don't even really know how to use. But boy, oh boy, do they look pretty when you show them off to your friends who don't care that you own them. You see what I'm saying? So let's talk about the real price of gear when we do break down and buy the thing. Because the price tag is generally only the beginning. Because when you get gear, there's things that it requires. Space in your studio. Maintenance. You gotta make sure it has batteries at all the times if it requires batteries. It might need a subscription. It has to have some sort of accessory, I'm sure. There's probably some insurance for it, maybe. You gotta do some upgrades occasionally. Hopefully those don't cost you money, but you never know. And sometimes, if you really broke the rule, you gotta pay the interest on the credit card that you were dumb enough to put it on. Credit cards are bad, everybody. Remember that. Credit cards are bad. You don't want them. Just cash. If you can't buy it with cash, you don't need it in your life. Okay? I promise. I ain't lying. So that's why gas or gear acquisition syndrome really ties into my talking about frugal living. There are so many ways you can do all these hobbies we've talked about without spending an enormous amount of money. You know how I make these YouTube videos, everybody? This microphone cost $80 when I bought it. I'm using my iPhone to record. The same iPhone I use every day just as my phone, but it records great video. I have a very old Macintosh computer that I edit the videos on, and I have a very old iPad that holds my script here on the table in front of me. Nothing is new. The tripod I have is probably the newest thing that I've gotten, and it was $40 on Amazon, I think, because I researched a company called Neewer, and they have really good quality, really good reviews, and very reasonable prices. It's Neewer if you want to check them out. It's pretty awesome. And then I have a light that casts light this way, but it's just one of those big bulbous, what do you call them, a cob light, studio light, some kind of thing like that. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen every YouTuber have them, but I'm all in. I mean, less than $1,000 on everything I use for YouTube, and I know people that have $1 million studios. So, you know, I mean, I know my videos aren't, you know, cinematic, amazing greatness, but they look and sound good, right? That's what matters, I do believe. So let's talk about the 10% problem, okay? Look at everything you own from your hobby. Everything you own from your hobby, you probably only need 10% of it. You could probably do the hobby with 10% of the gear you own. That's the example I was trying to give. I don't own much, but I still have a YouTube channel that has over 1,000 subscribers. And that's the first milestone you have to hit as a YouTuber to get over 1,000 subscribers. And I've been able to do it without any high-end quality gear. It's amazing to me. And it's part of my frugal lifestyle. I'm never gonna upgrade to big, expensive equipment because I don't need it. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna make me a better YouTuber. Being able to communicate to you guys and tell better stories, that's what's gonna make me a better YouTuber. And I'm working on that every single day. So I have friends that own so much gear that when it gets time to actually do a project, if we're collaborating, they almost get analysis paralysis because they don't know what gear to use. Meanwhile, I got my one setup and I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I can set up and record a video within like 3 minutes. Like I can be rolling. That's how fast my studio can be ready to rock and roll. I have friends that it takes them most of the morning to get set up just to be able to record that afternoon. Why would you want to put that much friction between what you need to get done? You know, having that much gear can really just slow you down in the long run. And I don't want that in my life. And I don't think you guys want that in your life either. Do you? I don't think so. So because we live a frugal life, but we still want to be able to do things, we need to find ways to do them on a frugal budget. Lighting is the easiest one to source for free because you have nature, you have the sun. If you find a window where you can have the light coming across your face, or let me say this light hitting me right here is a window. If you can diffuse that light enough so that it's not super harsh, then you're good to go. You can make your video right there next to the window. A lot of people do it. It works until you can buy a light, if you even ever need to. I know people that don't own lights. They go outside and record. A lot of vloggers will never need a light because they're outdoors, vlogging, having fun. Someday, I'd like to do an outdoor vlog. Should I get out there and walk around, tell you guys some things? Oh, what do you think? All right, to sum up this talk, everybody, if you don't really need the gear to accomplish the task in front of you, do not buy the gear. You don't need it until you really do need it, and even then, you might not really need it. See you guys in the next video.